U.S. food regulations have left American consumers exposed to chemicals and additives that have been banned in other countries.
This week, we're diving into something that'll make you rethink your grocery haul. How the United States allows ingredients in everyday products that other nations have outright rejected. Picture yourself pushing a massive cart through your local wholesale club, that warehouse wonderland where bulk deals meet budget-conscious shopping. The aroma of fresh-baked goods and ready-to-eat meals fills the air, and every package screams wholesome and nutritious. You're convinced you're making smart choices for your family's well-being. But here's what'll blow your mind. Across the ocean and European nations, regulators have taken one look at many of these health-conscious products and shown them the door. We're not talking about gentle restrictions or cautionary advice. These items are completely prohibited. Americans confidently load these products into their carts, believing they're nourishing their bodies. Meanwhile, European authorities wave giant red flags and refuse entry. The difference? Their regulatory agencies often prioritize consumer protection over corporate profits. Today, we're embarking on a revealing journey through warehouse store aisles to expose which popular items Europe has rejected outright. And the science behind these decisions might transform your next shopping expedition. If even one revelation today catches you off guard, show your support by liking this video and hitting subscribe. We're all about informed purchasing decisions, not blind trust in marketing claims. The protein bar paradox. Let's kick things off with something lurking in gym bags and desk drawers nationwide. Those warehouse brand protein bars. The packaging makes bold promises, packed with protein, minimal sugar, no gluten, zero guilt attached. But European regulators would slap warning stickers all over these bars if they even made it through inspection. The culprit? They're loaded with sucralose and acesulfame potassium, artificial sweeteners that Europe either refuses entirely or mandates toxicity disclosures for. Research shows sucralose can wreak havoc on your beneficial gut microbiome and interfere with how your body processes insulin. In other words, your metabolism's nightmare scenario. Yet, American stores market these as premium fitness fuel, while Europe classifies them as avoidable health risks. And that impressive fiber count on the label? Don't get too excited. It's not sourced from wholesome ingredients like whole grains or seeds. It's manufactured additives. The digestive aftermath resembles a full-scale rebellion happening in your intestines. Noisy, uncomfortable, and completely disruptive. Europeans insist on obtaining fiber the natural way, from actual whole foods that don't trigger gastrointestinal chaos. The cooking spray controversy. Now, venture toward the cooking essentials section. Sitting there innocently is that ubiquitous vegetable oil cooking spray, a kitchen staple in countless American homes. European customs would reject it immediately. The oil component? Perfectly acceptable. The real issue lies with what propels it from the can. Butane, propane, and isobutane. Yes, the identical substances that power your outdoor grill and camping equipment. American manufacturers position this as a heart-smart cooking aid. Europe's response? Perhaps don't season your dimmer with compounds meant for lighting fires. These propellant gases face European bans due to health concerns and inhalation hazards. Even without directly breathing them in, microscopic residues can transfer onto your food. And that zero-calorie claim splashed across the label? Pure marketing sleight of hand. The official serving size assumes a quarter-second spray duration. Unless you possess superhuman reflexes and perfect timing, your zero-calorie cooking just added 60 calories, plus a hint of lighter fluid residue. The gummy candy deception. Next up, something that appears innocent and kid-friendly. Those organic fruit-flavored gummy snacks shaped like adorable animals. The packaging boasts real fruit juice and certified organic credentials. In Europe, these cute treats wouldn't hop onto shelves anywhere. Those vibrant, eye-catching colors that make children reach for handful after handful come from artificial colorants like Red 40 and Yellow 5. Substances either completely banned or required to display ADHD warnings across European markets. European packaging literally states may negatively impact activity and attention in children. Imagine purchasing snacks that come with hyperactivity disclaimers. Only American markets treat this as normal. That organic label, it applies exclusively to select ingredients. The synthetic dyes, chemical additives, and artificial sweeteners slide right through the loophole. It's equivalent to adding spinach to a cupcake and marketing it as health food. Even major candy corporations reformulate their products with natural colorings for European consumers, but not for Americans. They possess the capability to do better. They simply aren't required to. The veggie straw illusion. A few sections over, you'll encounter bags of vegetable straws radiating health-conscious marketing vibes. Colorful vegetables adorn the packaging, the word veggie displayed prominently. But examine the actual ingredient list and the facade crumbles instantly. These are primarily potato starch, cornstarch, and oil, with trace amounts of dehydrated vegetable powder. Just enough to legally claim made with vegetables. European regulators call this exactly what it is: misleading consumer deception, and they're absolutely correct. These contain less dietary fiber than standard white bread. Let that sink in for a moment. The snack masquerading as nutritious is literally less valuable than the food everyone acknowledges as junk. The colors? Artificial. The taste? Laboratory engineered. The nutrition? Complete fiction. Europe reviewed the formula and declined. No thanks, we already have cardboard. American consumers purchased them in bulk, convinced they're choosing wisely over traditional chips. The EU insists on truthful labeling standards. When packaging displays vegetables, they expect genuine vegetables. Revolutionary concept, right? The bread fortification problem. Let's transition from fake vegetables to something that looks genuinely wholesome: bread. Americans adore loaves screaming multi-grain, organic, and heart-healthy. Enter that popular artisan bread brand dominating warehouse bakery sections. The packaging practically radiates confidence. 21 whole grains, abundant seeds, organic certification, non-GMO verification. It has street credibility, bold presentation, and devoted followers who swear it's the cleanest bread available. So why does Europe refuse its entry? Buried beneath those wholesome marketing terms is something EU regulators consider problematic: synthetic folic acid and substantial quantities of it. America fortifies foods like we're preparing for nutritional doomsday. Europe caps synthetic folic acid additions because excessive amounts can cause harm. They value vitamins. They just prefer people obtain them from actual food sources, not chemical laboratories. Each slice delivers roughly 25% of your daily synthetic folic acid intake. Consume a sandwich and you're halfway to your limit. Add fortified breakfast cereal and an enhanced snack bar, and you've exceeded 200% before dinner arrives. At that threshold, you're not eating meals. You're operating a personal pharmacy. Research suggests excessive folic acid consumption may correlate with certain cancer risks. Yet America's philosophy is essentially innocent until proven guilty. Keep selling. Europe takes the precautionary approach. When doubt exists, they remove products from circulation. Perhaps that explains why their bread sections aren't packed with nutrition panels resembling pharmaceutical prescriptions. The smoothie sugar bomb. Now we reach the wellness bottled section, where nothing says healthy living like those vibrant green juice blends. These glossy bottles promise daily servings of fruits, vegetables, and antioxidants. The label appears so healthy it could probably reduce stress just by looking at it. But in Europe, customs would reject that identical bottle faster than expired dairy products. Why? Beneath that verdant health glow lies synthetic vitamins, vague natural flavoring compounds, and here's the kicker: more sugar content than cola. We're discussing over 50 grams per bottle. That's not a smoothie. That's liquefied candy wearing athletic wear. European authorities banned certain synthetic vitamin E and D formulations used in these beverages following long-term safety evaluations. While Americans sip away thinking they're improving their health, they're actually consuming fruit-flavored blood sugar spikes. Even the phrase natural flavors serves as ingredient camouflage, potentially concealing dozens of laboratory-created compounds under one friendly-sounding term. It's the nutritional equivalent of someone declaring, "Trust me completely," while their face is covered. And that green color making you feel like you're drinking pure vitality? Artificially enhanced. Europe's verdict is, nice attempt, but we'll consume actual fruit instead of chemistry experiments. The peanut butter problem. Now let's discuss something most warehouse shoppers treat as untouchable: organic peanut butter. Two ingredients listed: organic peanuts and salt. Appears foolproof, correct? Except Europe examined American peanut butter and said, we'll decline. The issue isn't the ingredient label, it's what can potentially grow inside. We're discussing aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by mold naturally forming on peanuts stored under warm, humid conditions. The US permits certain levels, arguing trace amounts pose no danger. Europe's standard, absolute zero tolerance, because aflatoxins link to liver damage and cancer with prolonged exposure. Not exactly ideal for your morning toast. EU testing protocols are dramatically more rigorous. Every batch, every shipment undergoes thorough screening. In America, it's more like test a sample, hope everything's fine, ship the remainder. Europe responded, no thanks. We prefer mold-free breakfasts. The multivitamin mystery. Speaking of supplements, consider something supposedly beneficial, yet Europe has categorized as concerning: daily multivitamin tablets. They appear harmless: bright packaging, bold health claims, and sufficient nutrients to make you feel invincible. But the EU banned one critical ingredient in 2022: titanium dioxide. Sounds like science fiction material, right? That's because it practically is. Titanium dioxide makes pills bright, white, and aesthetically pleasing. Purely cosmetic, offering zero nutritional benefit. European regulators discovered it can accumulate in body tissues and potentially damage DNA over time. Their conclusion: not worth the risk merely to create prettier pills. American manufacturers continued using it because, well, who doesn't prefer vitamins that shine like mints? But here's the real problem. Many multivitamins also contain synthetic dyes and over-fortified nutrients, pushing your daily intake beyond safe thresholds, especially if you're already consuming fortified foods elsewhere. So while you believe you're optimizing health, you might actually be overdosing on laboratory chemistry. The irony: the products Americans trust most, the organic labeled, fortified, natural marketed items, are precisely what Europe refuses to stock. Different continents, identical brands, completely opposing regulatory standards. Yet these products disappear from warehouse shelves faster than free sample stations can restock. The protein powder problem. Let's visit the fitness section where American optimism meets powdered supplements and glossy promises. You recognize it: organic protein powder, the cornerstone of every transformation journey shopping cart. It claims cleanliness, organic certification, plant-based ingredients, and doctor formulation. The marketing trifecta. But European customs would reject this powder immediately. Here's why. That organic label conceals some genuinely unappetizing details. One major offender: carrageenan, a seaweed-derived thickener that sounds natural but functions like a warning signal in your digestive system. Studies have connected it to inflammation and digestive problems, which explains why the EU banned it entirely in infant food. They determined that gut-friendly probably shouldn't include stomach distress as a side effect. Then there's the heavy metals concern. Independent laboratory analysis detected lead, cadmium, and arsenic traces in certain protein powder batches. Not radioactive quantities, but enough to raise serious concerns. European safety thresholds for these contaminants are significantly stricter. US limits are, let's say, considerably more lenient. It's like comparing a strict security checkpoint versus someone casually waving people through. And we can't overlook that classic catch-all phrase: natural flavors. This term serves as the food industry's cloaking device, legally hiding up to 100 chemically processed ingredients under one innocent-sounding label. Europe's stance: if you can't identify it clearly,
you can't sell it. Here, it remains on shelves beside workout equipment and supplement bottles. The Greek yogurt imposter. Now, let's cool down with something seemingly much safer. A container of Greek yogurt with fruit. You've spotted it. Thick, creamy texture, topped with berries that look like they came from a Mediterranean paradise. The packaging claims authentic Greek taste, but the European Union says not even remotely close. For starters, genuine Greek yogurt in Europe must be produced using traditional straining techniques. Most American Greek yogurts bypass this entirely, employing thickeners and stabilizers instead to simulate the texture. That's like calling instant ramen artisanal handmade noodles.
Then comes the ingredient analysis: high fructose corn syrup, artificial colorants, and preservatives that Europeans have either prohibited or mandated warning labels for. Those vibrant fruit swirls, they're wearing chemical cosmetics. Some colorants, like Red 40 and Yellow 6, require behavioral warnings for children in Europe, the type stating may affect activity and attention levels. So while Americans consume it as nutritious breakfast fare, Europeans classify it as dessert with an identity problem. And if you assumed that's merely a labeling technicality, reconsider. Even the probiotic count, the live cultures making yogurt beneficial, often suffers during mass American production. By the time it reaches warehouse shelves, your gut microbiome is anticipating nourishment, but what actually arrives is a biological ghost town. Let that register. Yogurt so heavily processed it cannot legally identify as yogurt by European standards. Yet here, it's marketed as authentic. The big picture. Take a step back and look at the pattern. From protein bars containing banned sweeteners to bread overdose with synthetic vitamins. From organic snacks filled with chemical dyes to juices rivaling soda in sugar content. The pattern becomes unmistakable. Europe didn't prohibit these foods out of corporate animosity. They banned them because they refused to gamble with public health. Meanwhile, American policy often follows the prove it's dangerous approach instead of prove it's safe. That's the fundamental difference between exercising caution and becoming an unwitting test subject with a membership card. But here's the most mind-blowing aspect. Many identical brands already sell cleaner formulations internationally. They possess the knowledge and capability to manufacture safer products. They simply aren't required to here because we don't demand it. That's precisely why content like this matters. Not to shame anyone for warehouse shopping, but to remind consumers that healthy doesn't always align with label claims. Sometimes organic simply means the chemicals receive superior marketing. So next time you navigate warehouse aisles, take a closer look at those glossy labels promising everything. Ask yourself, if Europe won't accept it, why should I? Because health standards shouldn't depend on which continent you're standing on. If this video made you question even a single healthy product in your kitchen, do yourself a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and drop a comment mentioning the most surprising banned product you discovered today. We believe smart spending begins with knowing the truth, even when it's concealed behind nutrition labels. Stay informed, stay questioning, and remember, legal doesn't automatically mean healthy.